Third part. The moonlight limned three faint shadows on the ground. Dee, Layla, and the girl. Layla let out a deep sigh. The girl had just finished telling them the circumstances that had brought her there. Only the wind moved near the trio, and darkness had fallen around them. "There's just one thing I want to ask you," Dee said. He was still admiring the moonlight. "Are you aware that the Claiborne States are now?" The girl nodded. "I see," said Dee. "Then I guess you may as well go. But what'll you do then?" "I don't know," the girl replied. "Once we get there, our journey will be over, one way or another." Dee fell silent. The wind was singing a sad tune in the treetops. "But it's something good," Layla muttered. "Love's so great. So why does it have to go so wrong?" For a long time, none of the trio moved. Dee made the moonlight sway. "It seems he's come for you," he said. His eyes indicated the depths of the forest. Tears glistened in the girl's eyes. "Don't do this, I beg of you. Please, just let me go to him. If we keep going at this rate, we'll reach the Claiborne States by tomorrow night. Everything will end there. After that..." Dee faced the forest. "Don't move," Layla said. Dee turned to face her. She had the barrel of the sliver gun aimed at his chest. "Let her go. We can settle things once they reach the Claiborne States." Dee didn't move. "Thank you," said the girl. "Thank you. Thank you both." In the depths of the woods, a tall silhouette hove into view. The girl ran to it. Pausing for an instant, the two silhouettes vanished among the trees as if embraced by the forest. Once they were gone, Layla lowered the sliver gun. "Sorry, Dee," she said. "Why the apology? I should thank you again." Layla said with surprise, "You don't mean you would have—" "Go to sleep already. Tomorrow morning I'll take you to where you left your car. There we part company. After that, you can tail me, go back to your brothers, or whatever you like. You can count on me to take care of the female Dampier." Layla swallowed the rest of the words. She was going to say she wanted to go with him, but how would she go about traveling with a shadow? A blanket was tossed at her feet. Dee took another one in hand and walked over to the trunk of a nearby tree. Spreading the blanket on the ground, he sat back against the tree trunk and crossed his arms. The sword off his back had been placed by his left side. After a moment's consideration, Layla sat down next to Dee. Dee gazed at her steadily. His pupils seemed deep enough to swallow her. Suppressing a wave of rapture, she asked, "Does this bother you? You know, where I'm a vampire victim and all?" "Nope." "Thanks," she said. Pulling the blanket up to her chest, Layla lay down on the ground, using her arm for a pillow. There was a fragrance to the wind. Night-blooming jasmine, moonlit grass, nocturnal peonies, moonshine. Sweet and heartrending. There was life by night. the croaking of frogs, music from the jaws of longhorns, the whispering of great silkworms, all small and tough and full of life. For a moment, Layla forgot she was the prey of a female Dampier. It had never been like this for her. "Funny, isn't it?" she said as she scratched the tip of her nose. Dee didn't move, but he seemed to be listening. "The night doesn't frighten me a bit. None of my brothers has ever done this. Every single night, we had the feeling there were beasts and evil spirits out to get us. Even inside the bus, we were still on edge. And yet, now she seemed perfectly fine. I wonder why I don't mind the night now." After she'd said it, Layla was surprised. Had she actually thought that stern young man would give her an answer? She said it herself, quietly in her heart. "Because I'm with you." Even after Layla fell asleep listening to the song of the wind, the young vampire hunter still trained his gaze patiently on the darkness of the night. Anger and grief far from the void that was his eyes. Page break indicated by a small cross. At about the same time, in a part of the forest not very far away, a strange and truly disturbing event was unfolding. Borgoff could feel his internal organs being bored through and devoured. There was no longer any pain. Ants were swarming all over his body. And they were inside his face, too. He saw his right eye fall out. The sensation of ants crawling around in his eye socket was strangely tickling. Tens of thousands of them were dining on his flesh. Each and every trifling bite splashed a chill over him. It was cold, so very cold. A strange thing clawed its way out of the grass and came into view of the corner of his remaining left eye. It was a gooey gray lump. Oddly enough, though it lacked arms and legs, it clearly had eyes and a nose. "Ugh, this is a nice little find I've made," said the lump. "It's a little beat up, but if I knock all the freaking ants off it, I should be able to get some use out of it. Yes, sir. When it comes to traveling, you can't beat a human body." Moving over to Borgoff's mouth, it said to him, "You'll have to excuse me. I'm kind of in a hurry, too." The gooey, limbless lump pried open lips that the man himself lacked the strength to open, and Borgoff felt the thing sliding down his esophagus and into his stomach. Third part, end.